Energy and love to the universal fam. This is Sar Amin Ra of Indigenous People Media Outlet. It's been a while since I dropped, did a build, and yeah, man, I come to you today with a topic that I don't hear too many people touching on, but it's a very important topic. Now, I've been conscious for over 10, 15 years, 20 years. I've been conscious for a while. But I came across the conscious community that was online, the online conscious community, about 5 years ago. Roughly about 5 years, give or take, maybe a little longer, you know what I'm saying? So as far as all the, like the HOK and, some of the different YouTube channels, that pushes the consciousness in all different levels, because you got levels to consciousness, and some channels they focus on like black consciousness. Then you got some channels that focus on higher consciousness and the metaphysics and things like that, and you got some channels that focus on science. You got some channels that focus on history. And you got some channels that focus on spirituality. It's different levels to consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that's not talked about either. But I said that to say this. You know what I'm saying? Today's topic is, do we need scholars or do we need revolutionaries? And the reason why I'm posing this question is because, like I said, when I first became a part of the online conscious community, it was very intriguing, to see that there was so many other conscious people out there besides me, because, like, being conscious, it's a lonely world when you're conscious, It's not many people that's conscious, and especially in the different towns that you might stay in. It's not many people that you could build with that's on that same mind frame as you. Or on the same level of consciousness as you. So the internet was an outlet where you could interact with individuals that was on the same wavelength as you. The same frequency. So that was a great thing, but I see that most of the channels, the bigger channels, they don't focus on they're focused more on the scholarship or history and things like that, which, don't get me wrong, I study history, I study science, I try to study everything, I leave nothing off the table. Everything is up for analysis, or to be broken down. Everything has to be studied, nothing is off the table. All information is good information, but it's got to the point to where I see the online conscious community is filled with nothing but scholars. Everybody wants to be a scholar, and I just don't see what that does for us as a people, as far as making any progress and where we at today as a people. I don't see how being a scholar helps us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, history and science definitely has to be we have to go over those things. They're very important, but they're not the only thing. It's other things that we need to focus on as a people to be able to progress, to be able to move forward. And if everybody's a scholar, then we just gonna be chasing our tail, pretty much. And I even heard some of the scholars, some of the top scholars in the community. I'm not gonna do too much name dropping in this video, but some of the top scholars in the community, I've even heard this come out their mouth. They say, I used to be a revolutionary, or I was a revolutionary back in my younger days. If you ask me, once a revolutionary, always a revolutionary. That's just point blank, period. It's no such thing as I used to be a revolutionary. You know? And I've seen, you know, some of the people on the top channels also, they say, okay, well, I'm not a revolutionary, because if you're a revolutionary, you got to just basically go pick up your guns and go fight. If that's what they say, that's the only thing that a revolutionary can do. Basically, is pick up the guns and go fight. If you're not doing that, they'll tell you that you're not a revolutionary. But the point that they're missing is that the revolution starts in the mind. We can't change the world till we change ourselves. You know, so that's like we have to be able to fight the fight. Now, okay, we know as melanated people in America, or the original people in America, that we do not have the artillery that the United States government has. We know that. So to go and try to have an arms battle with the United States government, the most powerful military in the world, would be insane. It would be insane. I mean, the people that do it might get some glory, and your name might be held up in high esteem, you know, after you get killed or whatever, or locked up, you know, like the Black Panthers, basically. What happened, the same thing that happened to the Black Panthers in the 60s. You know, you're going to get locked up, and your name is going to be glorified forever. But it's still no progression that comes out of that. We have to come together for a common cause. That's the only way that we're going to be able to progress. And by calling ourselves black and going up under all these different religions and all these different ideologies, this is the things that's separating us from coming together for a common cause. You know? So those are some of the things. It's other things too, you know. But we definitely will have to come together for a common cause. And me personally, I feel like that we have to come together under the title of indigenous people. Not black, not Moorish, not Hebrew. You know, none of that. We have to come together under indigenous people, because when we say that we're indigenous, we're not saying that all life didn't originate in Africa. We're not saying that. We're just saying, we say we're indigenous, we're saying that we populated the planet first. So wherever you go on this planet, the original man was there. The melanated being was already there. That's what we're saying. So we're not disconnecting ourselves or dividing ourselves from our African, our so-called African brothers on the continent, which, you know, they are indigenous people too. So basically, we're connecting ourselves with our indigenous tribes, with our indigenous people across the planet when we say that we're indigenous. And then when we can come together, see, that's what I meant by the revolution starts in the mind. By claiming indigenous title, that's the most revolutionary thing that we can do. Because now we're pressing the powers that be, and we're forcing their hand. We're not asking them for a goddamn thing. We're forcing their hand. We telling them that no matter where you go to on the planet, the melanated being was there first. So that means that they're in violations. Either way it go. I don't care if we came here through slavery or we was already here. Either way it go, they're in violations. Considering that we are indigenous people. So we got to drop the titles, the African American, the black, the Moorish, the Hebrew, the Muslim. We got to drop all these titles. And I understand that, you know, everybody pretty much evolves at their own pace. So I wouldn't say that if you're a Hebrew, don't be a Hebrew no more. No, you can still be a Hebrew, or you can still be a Moor, long as you understand that you're indigenous. You know what I'm saying? You can still call yourself black, long as you understand that you're indigenous to the planet. You know? So yeah, I don't really want to make this build too long. I'll probably do a part 2, because I see a lot of people got the indigenous and aboriginal talk. They got it mixed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'll do a more in-depth build on what is indigenous. You know, what the word indigenous means, and you know how this could help us in the future. You know what I'm saying? Our children, our children's children. You know what I'm saying? It's not about us right now, or how I personally feel right now. It's not about me, how I feel. You know, it's about the future. This is the difference between a revolutionary and a scholar. A revolutionary don't necessarily have to pick up the guns and go fight the government in a battle that they know they won't be able to win. All a revolutionary is somebody that wants change and is willing to put in the work to bring upon that change. A scholar is somebody that studies history. That's the difference. So I'm gonna end this video the same way I opened it up. Do we need scholars or revolutionaries in the community to progress forward? That's my question that I posed to you guys. Feel free to get in the comments and add on to the build. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that I know everything. So like I said, all information is good information. Add on to the build. You know, I'll respond to the comments. You know what I'm saying? The worthy comments or whatever. And yeah, man, let's keep this conversation going, man, because definitely we need to have it needs to be a shift in what's going on in this conscious community, because now it's getting to be where we just studying history and we're turning it into like a reality show, internet reality show. So it has to be a shift. And yeah, I look forward to building and continuing this conversation. Peace. I'm out.